cursed luck. Well, well. Distinguished guests.
For the love of God. Does it have to be him?
Trust me, friend.
Oh, thank you, Jesus.
We need to have a word with you.
Would your graces care to sit?
I think not.
What brings you to my humble rectory, gentlemen?
Are you all packed, Godwin? I heard you got kicked out of your humble rectory.
Your concern is really touching, Hanush. Did you come to see me off, or to help me do my laundry?
Watch your mouth, priest. You might end up losing more than your parish.
Easy, my friend. Don't let him get you all worked up.
I'd like to teach him a good lesson.
But that's not why we're here.
Bah!
Well, why are you here then?
We have a secret mission for you.
Secret mission? Sir Radzig, I hope you're not trying to drag me into some state espionage game of yours. Somehow, over the years, I fell out of the habit of being inconspicuous.
You buffoon! Let his lordship finish!
Do you know about Lord Capon's mission?
Aye. I heard a word or two about that. Where was it you sent him? Trotsky?
Yes, to Sir Otto von Berghoff's castle.
Royal Chamberlain von Berger? The League of Lords fella?
You know more than I'd expect from you.
It doesn't surprise me. I also know that Trotsky is about 3 days' ride away.
2 days, weather permitting.
The young lord should have been back long since then, shouldn't he?
He should. But he's not.
And now you want me to find out why he's not here yet.
That's right. You'll go to Trotsky and see if anything's happened to him.
Why don't you send Henry after him? As far as I know, he's always done a good job for you.
That's exactly why he went with Capon.
So it's more serious than I thought. All right. I'll do it.
Well, that went better than I expected.
Oh, don't get ahead of yourself. I won't rest until my nephew is safely back in Perkstein.
When should I go?
Right away.
Fuck! Did they have to lock us up in here of all places? I have a feeling these walls are moving. The cell is getting smaller and smaller. Can you hear me? Let me out! Hey! Hear me!
Give it a rest. No one's come in.
I feel like we're going to be crushed here.
Well, that ought to bring us closer together.
Very droll. I just don't like these kind of places.
Like jails. Not a lot of people do.
No, I suppose they don't. Listen here, Henry. I wanted to say, well, that I'm glad to see you again.
Oh, yeah?
Give over.
Oh, it sounds like the great Sir Hans Capon is getting ready to apologise. But why?
Well, because I'm just sorry, I suppose. Nevertheless, Henry, I wanted to say that, well, you were right. I behaved badly. Awfully.
All right. I accept your apology. All water under the bridge, eh? Old pal.
Thanks. So, What were you getting up to the whole time, anyway?
I was working in the blacksmith's forge in Takov.
Oh, well, lucky for you, you have a trade you could work at.
Sort of. Most of the time I was actually chasing after lost carts or scrambling over the rocks looking for hermits.
Well, at least you weren't bored, eh?
What about you?
I also stuck to what I'm best at.
What, boozing and whoring?
Fucking hunting.
Where did you get the gear for that? We arrived in Troskowitz like a pair of beggars.
By using the old noggin, pal. I pulled a strong thread out of those rags I had on, made a snare for game, and before you could say jackrabbit, I was hawking half a dozen hares around the local cottages.
Weren't you worried about the local gamekeeper?
That nitwit! I found out he was fond of the booze, so I snooped around his lodge, and when sleeping it off, I went hunting. Once, I even went into his shed and, borrowed a bow and a quiver full of arrows.
Thieving, too, to top it all. Christ!
I'll give over. Once things are sorted out, I'll give it all back. Shh, quiet! There's something going on outside the door.
Have you seen Captain Thomas? Yarrick says he's in a bad way.
He's right. Them fuckers cut him up good.
Last I heard from Father Nicodemus, though, was that his wounds are healing.
Aye. Only he's been struck down by a fever. And the Sawbones is away with Sir Otto.
Good God!
Captain Thomas! Yes! He met us before we reached the pond, didn't he? We showed him our letter.
But he's in a fever. You heard them.
Oh, we'll deal with that somehow. Hey!
Leave it be.
Hey! Open up, you rabble! We're messengers from Ratai. Your captain can confirm it. Do you hear?
Again?
Those damned fools won't give us any peace.
Come on, fellas! Be reasonable! We're envoys of the Lord of Lipa!
About time. Just you wait till Lord von Berghoff hears how you treat a noble.
You, come with me to the courtyard. Chamberlain says we ain't gonna waste bread on you for nothing. We've got a job for you.
What about me? I want to talk to the captain right now!
You want to talk to God, fella. You're getting the gallows for poaching.
What? But you can't hang a nobleman.
Jesus, wait! Hear that? That bell's tolling for you, mate. 12 more times, and the priest will come for you.
Hans! But you can't!
Hans, don't worry, I'll fix it! Move it!
I'm a nobleman! Do you hear me? I'm a noble! I'm Sir Hans Capon of Bergstein.
So, if you want to get out of here, you'll have to make amends and work off your debt. For a start, you can carry all the charcoal from this wagon up to the store.
Wait, though. What's going to happen with Capon?
With that madman? He was poaching, so he'll swing.
But he really is a noble.
Ain't you a bit old for fairy tales, son? Once the bell tolls for the 12th time, it won't matter a damn who he used to be anyway. If you want to do something for him, pray. And best pretend you don't know him.
Your Captain Thomas can testify that we're envoys from Ratai. It's the truth, I swear.
Don't you say a word about our captain. We don't know if the poor fellow will live to see morning. They moved him during the night to the chapel at the very top of the Maiden. It seems only God can help him now.
What about my things? You took everything away from me.
That's what happens to people in jail. When we set you free, you'll get your stuff back. In the worst case, we might keep something to cover the damages you caused at the wedding. Got it?
Got it. Do you always ring the bells before an execution?
Aye, it's a local custom. They say back in the past, the local lord slept through a scheduled execution, and they had to release the condemned man. Don't worry, that won't happen today.
What happens when I'm done with this?
What do you reckon? You'll get another job. And when there's no more work for you, you can bugger off wherever you like.
That's all.
Aye? What'd you expect? The axe? Lord von Bergov is strict, but he ain't a tyrant. But poaching now, that's another matter.
I'll get to work then.
Good lad. The store's up by the gate to the inner bailey. Orsina the blacksmith is idling around somewhere there. He'll think up some job for you. Or go down to the outer bailey where they're building the scaffold near the gate. They'll be work enough there for sure. And no wandering around where you're not allowed. Don't stick your nose inside the castle. Got it?
Yeah. Got it.
Move it. Stop keeping and get hauling.
It was nice. Good food and drink. Lots of guests. Not enough pretty girls for my liking, though. It's a lot better here in Trotsky.
Let's hope the bride doesn't hear you. She might take offense.
I wasn't talking about
Bad. Well, it'll be even worse. Look, there's a rabble running rampant over the countryside. They even hacked up that captain of ours.
Aye, that's bad. But there's always some rabble running around. Even more now.
It was nice. Good food and drink. Lots of guests.
That wagon has to be out of here before his lordship returns.
Oi, Wojtek. Could you stop gabbing and come and help?
Can't you see I'm talking to someone?
I ain't seen you here. Are you new and all? Well, I'm Magda.
I'm Henry.
It's great to have some new lads here.
Oh, aye. Henry, how about you bugger off? I wouldn't want a repeat of our last disagreement.
Me neither. But all I care about is you giving me a hand. Those sacks won't carry themselves.
I'll just finish what I'm discussing with Magda and I'll be right with you.
Are you also helping Wojtek's uncle?
No, I'm not helping anyone's uncle. This is a punishment, just like with Wojtek here.
A punishment?
Aye. We got into a bit of a fight at Lord Semin's wedding.
What? Are you trying to make a fool of me?
Ah, that's not quite how it was.
You wretch.
Oh, thanks. You really are a cunt.
A cunt? While you're having fun chatting up girls, I'm hauling sacks. If anyone's a cunt, it's you.
Tss. Don't worry, I'll find you.
Move it! Stop keeping and get hauling!
That's that. I finished hauling the sacks. What now?
How should I know? They told me to think up some job for you, so you wouldn't be idle. So if you want to pass the time, go ahead, but do it sensibly.
Well, I'd say there's plenty of work to do around here. I'll gladly help you with something.
Aye, but I've only got work in the forge, And that ain't for everyone. I'm a respected tradesman here, understand?
I'm a blacksmith too, even if I don't look the part right now.
Oh, really?
Aye. My pa was a blacksmith, a respected one.
Then you might actually be some use to me. At least I wouldn't have to work my fingers to the bone all the time. I'll tell you what, go to the forge. The fire's gone cold. I haven't had much time for, well, the trade. So fire it up and make some horseshoes for Kabat. He's our groom. Always bothering me that you don't have shoes for the horses. And there's only one nag stabled here now that his lordship's away with his men.
All right. How many should I make?
How many legs does a horse have?
Well, it depends. Usually 4, but once there was a 3-legged foal born in our village.
All right. You're a fool, but maybe you're a handy one. So go and make 1 horseshoe for the groom, all right?
But a horse has 4.
Aye, but Kabat's missing just 1. And I ain't going to waste more on him.
1. All right.
You'll find everything you need in the trunk in the forge. It's there, past the gate.
All right. But I was told not to go there.
And now I'm telling you to go. And when it's done, bring it to me to check so you don't make me look bad. Off you go.
What then? As the waters...
What's the matter, good wife? Why are you standing here grumbling?
Because of that damn blacksmith. I'm waiting here for him like for Judgment Day. The lock on my spice chest is stuck, and Sir Otto will be back any time. How am I to bake gingerbread without ginger, eh?
Can I help you somehow?
No, unless you can pick a lock. And decent folk don't know how to do that.
I know how to do it, but first I have to get tools for it.
All right, I'll wait here. Another while won't kill me.
Heal the pains and other afflictions. Let them know that they are not alone in their afflictions, but that Christ is forever by their side.
The first bell. Another 11 to go. About that horseshoe.
Well, did you get it done?
Yeah. Here.
Well, what are you standing around here for? I told you to take it to Kabat.
No. You told me to bring it and show it to you.
You're a smart one, eh? Well, now I'm telling you to go to Kabat with it. He's our groom. Most likely he'll be idling by the upper stables, the grouch. Just between the two of us, he's a very unpleasant fella. Unlike me.
I can't wait. I brought you those horseshoes. I mean, horseshoe.
That took long enough. I've only got one horse here and I've got nothing to shoe him with. And you know who gets in the shit over it?
You?
Exactly. Mistakes are punished here. So either I'd end up reduced to beggary, or I'd have to go back to what I was doing before. And I wouldn't like that.
What did you do before?
You're a bit inquisitive, ain't you?
Well, I get the feeling you're actually proud of it.
Let's just say I haven't always made an honest living. Is that enough for you?
Not quite. I'd also like to know if you still got any tools.
I might be able to find something, but I'll tell you, it won't come cheap.
Isn't there maybe something I could do for you in exchange?
Well, since you're offering, I lost something playing dice and I'd like to have it back. A very nice turquoise rosary.
Who did you lose it to?
Father Nicodemus. That priest rolls dice like the devil himself was guiding his hand.
Don't worry. I'll get it for you.
But with no trouble, all right?
Naturally.
Greetings. What brings you here so early in the morning?
I was told to come and ask you for a job.
Nice timing. Do you know anything about carpentry?
No. Blacksmithing is more my field.
Ah, well, that's handy. I got the job of fixing up this here scaffold, so it don't collapse when we hang that poacher. But the whole thing is fucked. I need a good carpenter's axe. There's one broadaxe in the shed, but it's as blunt as a file. Of course, Osina didn't find time all year to hone the thing.
I could help you with that.
You could? Well, that'd be great. Go and get it from the shed, sharpen it, and bring it back to me.
Sure thing. All done. So I got what I needed, and we can get to it. Where's that chest?
It's in the castle cellars. Follow me. My time is precious, seeing as how his lordship will be back any time.
Yeah, but I'm not allowed there. I was told to stay in the courtyard.
Never mind that. You're going with me and you're helping me. Come along. What a day. I burnt the roux in the morning, and then the girl told me we're out of venison. I don't know what that gamekeeper's up to again. Actually, I do know, and it ain't nothing good. And now this. 3 years that lock is broken, and 3 years that good-for-nothing has been promising to fix it. But no.
The second
After
toll
all,
for hands.
I'm just a stupid cook.
Careful.
Who's always nagging and won't leave anyone in peace. But if I didn't nag, there'd be nothing done in this godforsaken castle. You have to kick people's asses here to even get them out of bed in the morning. The lazy bones. Pfui!
And when that's all done, let the maids get stuck into cleaning, so you don't show me off in front of his lordship.
Here it is, that damn chest. 3 years I've been telling him. God's truth. Thank you kindly, young man. If you want to get a bite to eat, stop by the kitchen.
Here it is. Hope it's good.
Sharp as a skinning knife. Nice. Without your help, the scaffold could well collapse under that poacher. And nobody wants that.
And then the execution would be postponed.
I doubt it. We're not going to make a show out of it like they do in Prague. But someone would have to get their hands dirty, and no one fancies that.
Understandably.
Anyway, thanks. I can't afford to fuck things up today. The Chamberlain is as tetchy as the devil.
Isn't he always?
Yeah, but even more today. Anna the laundress said he's got bellyache. Everyone is avoiding him like the plague.
Uh-huh. I'll be going.
I've got to get back to work too.
Sir, I want to ask you something.
You? What are you doing here? Aren't you supposed to be helping outside in the courtyard? Christ! First you cause mayhem at a noble wedding, and now you go snooping around where you shouldn't.
I noticed, sir, that something is troubling you. I could help you.
How could a vagabond like you help me?
Sir, I might not look the part, but I've read a lot.
Don't waste my time with your jokes, you nobody. What would you be able to read?
Species de cipit, sir. Looks can deceive. As it happens, I've read many Latin and other texts. For example, the etymologies of Isidore of Seville, the writings of Abbess Hildegard of Bingen, and the Herbarium de Horis Sanitatis, De Materia Medica, and others.
Well, you really surprise me, lad.
Anyway, I'll examine you and try to make a diagnosis.
Yes, that should help.
Tell me, Master Chamberlain, does it hurt all the time, or does it come in waves?
No, not all the time. More like I get attacks.
Uh-huh. And these attacks, have you noticed whether something sets them off?
Well, it's worse when I get upset.
And does it get worse in autumn, when it gets colder?
Yes, it's usually worst in October. Then I don't even have to get upset for it to start.
All right, that makes sense. Did you get advice from anyone about it? Have you tried anything for the pain?
Well, I talked to our surgeon. He just said it was odd and told me nothing more. So I went to Kolin to see Professor Joachim Bavorski, and he advised me.
Yes? What?
It's a little awkward for me to talk about, I must admit.
Master Chamberlain, I'm here as a practitioner of the medical arts. You can rest assured that whatever you tell me will remain between us.
All right. The professor spoke at length about Jupiter and the houses, and then he told me that my bodily humours are out of balance.
I would expect so. And what did he recommend?
Well, that I should get more silver into my body. So I wear more silver jewellery, and when there's a full moon, I go to the meadow here below the castle, naked.
Really? So you're taking it quite seriously. And has it worked?
No, but there'll be a full moon soon, so I could damn well use some other advice.
I understand. Tell me, sir, what do you usually eat?
Well, I often eat from the banquet table.
So, a lot of roasted game?
Yes, and pâtés, goose, duck. I dine as befits my status.
I see. With your permission, I'll examine you, sir.
What? Here and now?
Don't worry, I'll just have a look at you. You don't have to lie down or strip.
I'm glad to hear it.
You're quite pale and rather sweaty.
When it comes upon me, I sweat a lot.
Your eyes are all right. Do you have ringing in your ears?
No.
Do your hands shake?
Well, I'm not the youngest, but it's nothing too bad.
All right. Sir, I'm afraid you have a stomach ulcer. If it's not treated, you could even die of it.
Good God! What should I do?
The main thing is a strict diet. No fatty or heavy foods. In other words, nothing from the banquet table. You have to eat boiled white meat, poultry or fish, lots of vegetables, and gruel.
Gruel? Like a...
Yes, like the common folk. And another thing, you mustn't get angry, under any circumstances.
What? I mean, what?
That's the way. Oh, and I'll get you a herbal potion. I know exactly what will do you good.
Can't you get me that potion right now?
I don't have the required remedy, but I could brew it. Only, I don't have the apparatus for that. And also, I could use some medical literature.
Don't worry about that. Our surgeon is also often at a loss. I expect you'll find everything you need in his study. It's upstairs in the Crone. That's the second tower. Now we're under the Maiden. Do you know how to get there?
I think so. But I was told to stay only in the outer courtyard. I wouldn't want to get in trouble.
Trouble? I'm the one who has trouble. Don't worry. Tell them I sent you. Just go, for heaven's sake.
All right. I'll go and get something for you.
Good. If you'd be so kind... Oh!
Scrub you're after. You'll have to wait. I've been here for ages. And have to go on duty too.
Careful.
You? What in God's name are you doing here?
I was about to ask you the same question.
I work here, genius.
Who are you, actually?
Me? I'm just cleaning here.
And what were you doing at the pond, then?
I thought we straightened that out the last time you bothered me. I have no idea what you're talking about.
What's your name?
What's it to you?
Nothing. It's just common manners that people introduce themselves to others.
Well, I always was an unmannerly girl. So tough luck.
We both know you're lying. The question is, why?
Says someone who was just sitting in a jail cell and will end up right back there if anyone calls the guards on him.
They let me out. I have to work off my sentence.
Really? Here? And what kind of important work would that be?
The Chamberlain sent me. He needs something for his stomach.
That slimy toad? If he doesn't watch out, his stomach will be the least of his worries.
Well, you look like you know your way around here. Maybe you can help me.
Why should I?
I'm not stupid. You've no business here. You're snooping around in the surgeon's stuff and God knows what else. It could land you in trouble.
Oh, yeah? How?
Well, for instance, I could take something here. Don't forget, I might be slaving here today, but tomorrow they'll get fed up with me and they'll probably kick me out by morning. And you'll still be here. So it'll be on you. For sure someone saw you coming here.
And you too, no?
Well, there's quite a big difference between you and me. The guards don't pay much attention to me, but you...
I get it. Sometimes it's an advantage.
And sometimes not. So, to the point.
All right. If it's medicine you're after, the surgeon has a store across the corridor. There's all sorts of junk there, but there's one chest where he puts stuff that he hasn't used up. He locks it carefully, but you might get lucky.
And what if there's nothing interesting for me in there?
Then tough luck. But you can go and have a look at his records. That crackpot writes down everything he does. Maybe he gave someone something that might be of interest to you.
All right. Thanks.
And now get out of my way. Simple maid like me has lots of work to do in this castle.
The third toll. I better get moving.
Say, I heard some interesting books arrived here from Prague.
Let me stop you right there. Preparations are underway to execute a poacher. I don't have time to worry about a book right now. Stop by once the lad is strung up.
Sir, about those health problems of yours.
Yes?
I have exactly what you need, sir. Sir, I'd recommend that you take this digestive potion to settle your stomach. Take it after every meal. And don't forget, a good diet, and do not get upset.
All right. Thanks, then.
And now you ought to go and lie down, sir.
Lie down? Me? Ha! Without me, this place would grind to a standstill.
Sir, medicine isn't enough. You also need rest. Otherwise my potion won't have much effect.
Oh, all right then. I'll try it.
And another thing. I don't want to bother you, sir, but I have a question.
Yes? What is it?
I've always wanted to take a look at your chapel. I'm a great admirer of the master who painted the altar there.
Oh, go where you want. I'll inform the guards.
Thank you. Pardon me for disturbing you, miss.
If you want to pray, go somewhere else. The chapel is closed. Unless you're a priest. Which I presume you're not.
No, I'm not. My name is Henry.
I'm Adela, Thomas's sister. What is it you want, Henry?
I need to talk to your brother.
No chance of that. He's been lying in a fever for 3 days, and the surgeon is away with Sir Otto. Unless he returns soon, Thomas won't be talking to anyone ever again.
What actually happened to him?
They were attacked by bandits by the pond. His mare, Arrow, brought him home. He was completely out of it. And little wonder, the way he was hacked up. If the surgeon was here, he'd be in his care. Some of his wounds have healed, but now he has a fever. He's been bedridden for 3 days.
I'm sorry. Oh, Christ. But this is a matter of life and death. Thomas is the only one who can testify to what happened.
Yes, it's a matter of life and death for my brother. I want him to rest. Besides which, he's delirious and can't tell you anything.
I heard that your brother is lying in a fever, so I brought something for him that might help.
Really? I don't know what to say. And I was against dragging Thomas to the chapel. I felt it would only burden him more.
God moves in mysterious ways. We ought to administer it to him quickly.
Yes, of course. His fever is getting worse. If this doesn't work, I don't think he'll last long.
urge you all to be vigilant. These days we have all sorts of vagabonds, drifters, outlaws and bandits roaming the country. And we have one of those vermin here today. A fella called Hans, who is clearly not right in the head. A dangerous madman, a brawler, and a thug. The worst of all, a poacher. And so, for the damages he caused to our dear Lord Otto von Berghoff, he is sentenced to be hanged by the neck until dead!
Stop! You can't execute this man. He's a noble. Captain Thomas here will testify that we're messengers from Ratoi.
What is this nonsense, for Christ's sake?
It's true. I am Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein.
Deal with it, for God's sake!
But sir, the captain!
Captain Thomas has a fever. He's clearly delirious. Seize them immediately.
You can't do this! I am a nobleman, do you hear? A noble! Get your hands off me! You can't do this!
Open the gates!
My lord?
What the hell is going on?
It was just it's a hanging.
You can't hang him. He's a noble.
That's for me to judge. Take him down! And for Christ's sake, help me off this horse!